Okay, so we continue with our basically and roughly speaking, we're talking about statistics. There's actually a fancy name for this for average, and what we're about to learn right now, which is about something called a mode, median, and mid-range. Just give me a chance to explain everything. And they do have a fancy name. They're called measures. So included in that, we just spoke about mean in the last video, mean, and the symbol is this. Don't forget this symbol looking like a U. Okay, so that belongs to our heading here. Here's our heading. They're measures, M measures, measures of average, and some books of central tendency, but our book seems to have it a little bit easier, so they're called measures of average. So obviously the average is one of them, but there's more. There's a second one, and it's called a mode. Let me give you 3 examples to explain what a mode is. Okay, example number 1, I give you a set of data, not a long list. The number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The data will not necessarily always be arranged in the right order, but this one is. Okay. That's the, oops, now bear with me. I'm going to want to give you 3 of them and talk about all 3. Here's another set. It's got 1, 2, another 1, 2, right? And then 1. Okay, so there we have that one. Then comes C. Here's a set, whatever it's measuring. I don't know what it's measuring. Don't care. Here's a set of raw data. Here it is, 1, 3, 6, 3, and 1. And we want to know, what is the mode, right? That's our question. What is the mode of each one of these? So let me start with the second one, B. The mode is equal to 1. Let me explain why. Because the mode means the most frequent data item. Most frequent data item. And 1 comes up 3 times versus 2 for 2. There's 2 2s, but there's 3 1s, so 1 wins, and the mode is 1, most frequent data item. Okay, now let's go to this one. What's the mode? There's a tie for first place. 1 appears twice and 3 appears twice. 6 is not in the running. So the modes are actually 2. It's bimodal. There's actually 2. The modes are 1 and 3. You can have more than one mode if there's a tie. What about this one? There is no mode because none of them appears more than once. So nobody gets to have any supremacy, so to speak, and therefore there's no mode whatsoever in that list in A. That pretty much sums up what a mode is. Okay, here comes the third measure. What about a median? Okay, so let me give you a list of numbers for a median. I'm going to make them much bigger numbers this time. I'm going to use an example with much bigger numbers. Okay, so now let's try a list that looks like this. We'll talk about A and I think A and B might do the trick. 10,000. The first data item is 10,000. The second data item, I'll put a little semicolon there, is 53,000. The third data item is 45,000. Okay. The fourth data item is, let's say, 12,000. And the fifth data item is 8,000. And that's it. There's a total of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 data items. Okay, now, when you're dealing with a median, first, arrange them in ascending order. So if the problem is nice to you, they'll put it in ascending order for you already. But if it's not nice to you, like this problem, then first you must arrange them in ascending order. Arrange the data in ascending order from smallest to highest. Ascending order. Okay, so that means the first one has to be 8,000. Here's our scrap paper. The first one is 8,000. The second one, all right, let's be formal. The second one is 10,000. The third one is 12,000. The fourth one is 45,000. And the highest is the 53,000. And that's the list. Okay, I didn't tell you what a median is yet. I told you that first you got to arrange in ascending order, which we just did. What's the answer? What is the median? I'm going to tell you right now. It's the middle number date item. That's the median. Answer. The answer is, let's get this, let's move, don't get confused between the two problems. The answer is 12,000. It's smack in the middle of the data. There's 2 to its left and 2 to its right. The answer is 12,000. That's case A. Case B. All right. Now, case B. What if you have the exact same list as above? Almost. You have, or something similar, 10,000. You have, let's say, 20,000. You have 5,000. $8,000. You have 9,000. And 11,000. Okay. Now we've got a problem. Let's first put it in ascending order, then I can discuss the problem with you. In ascending order means we put the 5,000 first. Ascending, here's our scrap paper. Put 5,000, followed by 8,000, followed by 9,000, followed by 11,000, 5, 8, 9, and 11. Oh, I'm sorry, 10,000, and then 11,000. Ascending order, it's very important, very, very important. Very, very important. Got to get that right. So first came the 10, then the 11. Okay, after the 11 comes the 20. Comes the, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do I have? Well, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, and I'm there. 20,000. Okay, now let me illustrate the problem. We have 6 date items. We have an even amount of date items. Here we had an odd amount. There was a middle one. Here we have an even. 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6. What do we do if we have 2? We don't have one middle one. Well, here's what you do. You take the 2 middle ones. Add them together. Right? Here's how to do it. I'm going to put it over here because I want some room. 9,000 plus 10,000. 9,000 plus 10,000, and divide by 2. Take the 2 middle ones. If it's an even number of date items, you need the 2 middle ones, add them, the 2 middle ones together, and divide by 2. So that's 19,000 divided by 2 is going to be equal to 9,500. You can do it on the calculator. You see, 19,000 divided by 2 is 9,500. There's the answer. That is the final answer. Let's double circle it. Okay, So now we've got one more thing to add, put on this piece of paper. One more thing to put on this piece of paper. And we have room. Here's the fourth situation. Let's make sure this is not confusing. The fourth situation is the mid-range. The mid-range. Okay. Let's take case B. Case B. Let's take the same given. Same given. Given. The given is the data from 3B. From 3B. Okay, so it's this data right here. Here's what you do. The mid-range, it's very simple. You take the lowest data, and you have to arrange it in ascending order. Scrap paper is the same. Scrap paper is the same. You have to arrange it in ascending order. You take the lowest data item, 5,000, and you take the highest data item, 25,000, add them together, and divide. You guessed it, divide by 2. That's 30 divided by 2 is equal to 15,000. That is the mid-range. Here are our measures of average. There are 4 of them. Upstairs on top, which is now above us on the paper, was average, which we learned in the last video. Then came today's video this video had mode, median, and mid-range. And we're finished with this video.